doing, big world? It's KJ Cool here. Let's go! Okay, next we're gonna talk about why I have no friends. Not me, Iguana. Why she got no friends? Let's get into this. So remember when I spoke yesterday about her being on the spectrum? Perhaps. I think she may have OCD more so because repetitive behaviors, her speech, inflexibility with routines, sensitivity. We know she's got fixed interests, that's for sure. Normal thoughts perceived as illogical. Oh, that's a big one. And her compulsions reduce her anxiety. What are her compulsions? I think that's clearly evident. Having an ED, being obsessed with kawaii, cosplay, all the rest of it. But the point is, I'm going to show you where people were friends with her and what happened. Because just because you've an OCD or autism doesn't mean you don't have to have friends. Obviously, we all know that. But she's got some way bigger problems. Let's get into this. I mean, she used to do collabs with boys and girls, and don't see any of them anymore, do we? Why?
Hey guys, it's Eugenia. So today I'm here with my amazing friend
Mercedes!
and she is gonna do something super cool. Like, see, like we're like twins pretty much. Like right now you can see we're like twins.
Yes,
We're just cool people like that.
Awkward! Hey, don't mean to alarm you, Iguana, but you're not twins. That girl is absolutely gorgeous and healthy looking. Sorry to say, you look like The Walking Dead. This is where her delusions are just out of this world. How can anyone be a friend of someone who truly is that blind? That's hard. No, Debs, you're not her bloody bestie. She needs real friends, like people her own age, not enabling delusional mothers. Anyway, who wants to hang out and do videos with their mum? That's what Shane Dawson did, actually. And it icked me out. It'll lick me out, whoever does that. I mean, as I told you guys, I can't even tell any of my son's friends that I have a YouTube channel because he's so embarrassed. All teenagers are embarrassed by their parents. I get it. That's why I don't get this shit. Weird. So this is the first guy I came across on my search for the Iguana Lost Friends list, and he put this video up years ago. Like, I think he says 3 years ago, 4 years ago. He was the first one to really say it how it is. He's Spanish. I love the honesty. But because he confronted her and brought this up, you know what happened? Excommunicated, abort, friendship.
Her bones, but not anymore. Compare this to this. What is this? She's obviously dying and she's not getting any help. I was friends with her and she told me the same excuse she's now telling to everyone on social media. And with that, she made everyone think that she's now gonna be okay. She made everyone think that they have done something good for her, but they haven't. And no one can, and that's the worst part. There are many girls with this kind of problems, but the thing is that they're not famous. We don't know them, so we can't help them. But at least if we can make the difference, trying to help Eugenia Coney, try to reach the authorities on where she lives. She needs to be reported to some kind of organism, to some kind of rehab center, and forcefully make her go into a rehab center. And I'm very sorry to be the one to tell you that this is completely bullshit and she's not getting any help from anyone, but it's the truth. She used the same excuse to me in 2016 and she's using it again 3 years afterwards.
So this guy made a friendship with her. He started confronting her and saying, hey, what's up? You don't look great. And then she just said, see you later. I'll see you later. Because I don't know whether it's mama that says see you later or whether it's her. Who bloody knows, man? But someone does. All they're doing is caring. I just love his honesty. It is bullshit. Oh my god, he made me laugh. I know it's a serious subject, guys, but this guy said this 3 or 4 years ago? Jesus! This has been going on for a long time, you know? People trying to help and people getting absolutely infuriated because they want to be friends with this girl. They obviously like her, or they like her personality, and they want to help. They don't want her to die. That is one reason why people can't be friends with her. How can you be friends with someone that's on the brink of dying all the time? And it's easily fixed. Not easily, but, you know, it's not like they've got cancer and they're terminal.
And let me say this straight up. She has anorexia. I'm 100% sure that she has some kind of eating disorder, and not recently. She's had it for years, at least since 2012.
Man, anyone who's an addict generally is a compulsive liar. I only have had experience with a family friend was addicted to heroin, and man, the lies were through the roof. Before she was a heroin addict, she was an honest, awesome person. Any addiction turns people horrible. They lie, and that's why poor old Dallas is infuriated, because she is is bullshitting. And she stopped being friends with him, not the other way around. Interesting. Abort friendship, mummy said. Abort friendship, warning, warning. Anyway, man, you gave it a red hot go. Didn't work. It hasn't worked for anybody. Let's look at the next group of friends that came along a couple of years later, tried to help. They did a lot more because they're in America, and they got the cops involved, the doctors involved, and it all went pear-shaped. I mean, these friends actually got the 5150 to the 72-hour psychiatric hold enforced by law enforcement and health professionals. That's what happens. It happens in every country, but in America it seems to be a lot harder. I'm not putting America down. I think it's got a lot to do with the healthcare system, because in Australia we've got free healthcare. In Europe, free healthcare. In America, you gotta pay for that shiznit. That's why I feel for you people. It's a sad story.
Our point in making that video was to explain that Eugenia's mom is a dangerous person. She fought us on trying to get her help every single step of the way. We had to trick Eugenia into coming to my place so that we could help her. Her mom yelled at me, screamed at me, tried to call the cops on me to have me arrested for kidnapping. Her mom is somebody who is manipulative.
So mummy blocks care. It seems quite evident. And Iguana's always like, oh, don't be mean to my mom. Well, you can't get this many people saying it or they'd be sued for defamation. And they've never been sued because it's true.
She's still under control. Everything is still being decided for her, and she is being very manipulated. And I do know that her in the video saying that we were bullying her was about us, because the sentence was bullying her and forcing her to get help. Mm-hmm. We are the ones that forced her to get help by tricking her, having an intervention, and calling mental health professionals that had her committed.
But basically, when friends try and help Iguana, mummy attacks them. The whole family attacks them and doesn't allow anybody in, closes all the doors. That is a very big reason to not be friends and to not have any friends, which is really, really sad because she's a 26-year-old woman. And then she has to abort friendship, abort friendship. Okay, let's listen to what the doctor has to say. Not Dr. Dre. I know you were all thinking that, but Dr. Todd Grundy. He is the doctor of the mind, and he knows what's up. So listen up, all you armchair psychiatrists, because he's the real deal. He's not just some little koala sitting in a tree with a few opinions. So let's go, doctor.
Last, sometimes somebody else could be blocking care, right? And this is mentioned in Jacqueline's videos. I don't know if that is happening here. Again, there's no way for me to know, but I have seen this happen in other situations. It is a real thing. Usually, though, there's some sort of clear motive, like money. Rarely it could be something like Munchausen syndrome by proxy, which is really factitious disorder imposed on another. That's the technical name for it. Most of the time, though, in my experience, I found it to be laziness or lack of awareness, right? Somebody's just not concerned or doesn't care to be concerned with somebody who needs help, so they block them from getting care. It's just inconvenient for them to help out, so they decide to interfere.
Thanks, doctor. I mean, seriously, someone who doesn't want to be concerned or lack of concern, that could fall into the category of Debs. Because how can you live in a house with this girl? Obviously, it's pretty obvious, but maybe she's got an OCD and she can't even see what's happening with Iguana.
I hope this is okay to ask. Do you understand why JG felt pushed to get you help in the way they did? If you can't forgive them, I totally get that, but I'm sure they honestly felt like there's nothing else they could do except stand by and watch. Snowjagraw, I mean, maybe they thought that what they were doing was like the right thing to do. And again, I don't wish her or anyone else that was like involved any bad. Like I wish the best for everybody. But I really think that if instead like maybe they would have like talked to me beforehand, because that literally never really happened. I know that like it said that like it was, but they never really did. And I felt like I was just put in like a very uncomfortable like situation, and maybe they thought that that was the right thing to do, but it just really, really affected me like very, very badly. A lot of people really think that she was a really good friend, like doing what she did, but it's just that like, I don't know, a lot of this was just very suddenly put upon me.
I mean, as you can see, she is in complete denial because she's like, this was suddenly put upon you. You've had anorexia like for, I don't know, 8 years. Nothing's new. I think the only thing that was new that was put upon you is that somebody put you in hospital and made you deal with it. You never dealt with it because you're obviously a very stubborn person. But these people saved your life. I don't know if there's anyone that's going to do that again. Seriously, you've wiped all your friends. Even this guy, he actually did some collabs with you, and he's got some very interesting points to make.
That her mother is incredibly instrumental in everything that she does. I don't know how far that goes, but her mother is a kind of iron fist. I know that Eugenia cares deeply about her mother, almost to a fault, and a lot of the choices in her life are heavily based around her mother and what she wants as well.
So Old Mate goes on to say that her family constantly call everyone haters, don't listen to them. Well, basically her mama, she's the main one, and everyone has said it. They're all like, as I thought, she just brainwashes Iguana. And why does she brainwash her into thinking that everyone's a hater that wants to help her? That's why I think this woman has a real issue. What the issue is, I can't answer. I'm no doctor. I bet Dr. Grande would know, but I don't. I just see it was all very weird. I'm a mum, and I can comment that mums don't act like that. It's frickin' weird. One last point from old buddy here. He was flipped out by Iguana having a driver. They did a collab together and he sat outside for 5 hours? I mean, what the hell is going on? That is so abnormal. I don't have answers for it. She might be rich and has a driver, but he doesn't have to sit there for 5 hours. Hey, driver guy, why don't you, next time you have her in the car, drive her to the frickin' hospital and be the hero in the situation, because no one else is going to help this girl and it's going to be on your head when she dies. Just saying.
But her driver, we shot for 5 hours, and her driver waited outside the gate the whole time, like kind of just ominously, like waiting for her to be done, and that struck me as a little weird.
That's another reason you're not going to have many friends. Having a driver sit outside is very intimidating, and apparently he's a very big guy. Well, you saw his photo there in the car. He looks mean. He's got a big head on him too. You're not going to get friends having that stuff hanging around when you're 26? Come on, guys. What's going on?
Why didn't your mom call a doctor for you earlier then? Your health situation was really bad at the time. Sanjit, you know, my mom did want me to see a doctor. She was concerned for a long time, and I was gonna end up seeing a doctor anyway.
Okay, so if we're to believe her, her mum was concerned for a long time. Oh, what, like 10 years? And she was about to call the doctor. Oh, that's a good one. It's like when you get caught out and you're like, oh no, but I was just about to do it. That's like something my teenage son says to me, and I'm like, why haven't you put the rubbish out? He's like, I was just about to do it. And I said, I asked you hours ago. It's like, this girl has arrested development. 100%. I don't know if that's why I feel that she's on the spectrum, perhaps, but her development is something to be questioned. And my fave, Dr. Grande, explains this disorder, a symptom, I'm not too sure, called anorexia, and it is the problem between this whole family. I think he nailed it, honestly. And by the way, I did get these clips of Dr. Grande and from a video he did on Iguana. So he's relating it all to her, just to let you know. Go and watch him. He's awesome. He does videos on all the famous people, all the YouTubers, anyone that you love or hate. He does videos on them with a psychological perspective, which I love.
Now, sometimes we also see another condition called anosognosia. It's a lack of insight, and it's actually a symptom of many mental disorders. It's when somebody's not aware that they have a mental disorder, or they're not aware of the danger that the mental disorder puts them in. Psychosis is often clear, and it's much more likely to result in a 24-hour hold. Anosognosia is subtle, and it's fairly difficult to work with in terms of a 24-hour hold. It's difficult to get that established when we're just working with anosognosia and not some type of psychosis.
I said it wrong. Anosognosia. But anyway, I really feel that Debs, her mum, has this. She's so unaware that she's got a mental, because honestly, there is no woman or man that will allow their child to live like that unless they too are suffering from, because all of us Millions of us all know Iguana's got a mental illness, no doubt, which is the result of anorexia. Well, what's Mama got? Hey, I just think this is up for the doctors. I'm just putting it out there from, doing all my research and thinking maybe a whole family of mental illness. We don't know much about the dad. People throw around that he's an alcoholic. I don't know. All Americans say they're alcoholics. In Australia, we just laugh and go, what? You have a wine every day and you're classed an alcoholic? Come on, man. Well, if that's the case, the whole of Australia is alcoholics. And everyone's always surprised at how much she is protective of her mum and her dad. Not so much her dad, but her mum. And it's if you look into Stockholm Syndrome, they generally fall in love with their captor. It's really weird, but they do. And they're so brainwashed. Even ones that have been heavily abused by their captor love them. You got to go and look at Syndrome. I can't get this right now. I ain't no doctor. I'm a goddamn koala. Everyone remembers when Shane Borsum went to the Iguana household, and it was really weird that the whole time he was there, he had a lawyer following him. What are they trying to hide? Who has a lawyer in their house whilst you're doing an interview? I don't know. She's not that famous. It's not like she's Britney Spears or bloody any mega celeb. There he is, weirdo. So it's outrageous, it's egregious, it's preposterous, isn't it? Yeah, that's right. So there is just so many strange happenings in the household. I came up with one thing that no one's ever spoken about, and I never even knew about this either. In looking into eating disorders, I found this article that people that have severe anorexia become very smelly, and it's a smell like fish, off fish. It's pretty bad. So I was thinking, she can't have friends if she's going to be that stinky, and she does have severe anorexia. So she must be a real stink bug. It's called cannibalism of your own organs, and it's just stinking everywhere. It's probably why she's in the basement too. Ah, dear. There's so many issues to why you can't have friends if you've got such a bad eating disorder. Maybe the whole fam has this anosognosia where nobody has a clue that they're unwell because the head of the fam maybe is the worst. Mama, Debs. People are so scared to go near her house or to be friends with her because of Debs. And the driver, and having a lawyer there. Come on, there's the list huge. And then what I thought of, she might be stinky, on the nose, stink bug style. And it's really, really hard to be friends, like a cast member of The Walking Dead with their insides rotting. That's bloody hard, man. And then you got to deal with all the iguana issues, the list is endless, but I think you guys might understand from what I've said today why she doesn't have any friends. Plus, everyone's a hater. If you even say that you care about her, you're a hater. If you even say, I don't think you're that well, you're a hater. There's just so many issues. Not only is Iguana in denial, so's her family. And that's why everyone accuses them of lying. It's clearly evident that they are compulsive liars because they're delusional. Thanks, Dr. Grande. You really opened my mind up to maybe what's happening. And it's really, really sad. I'm sorry you feel that way. Well, I'm sorry you feel that way. Oh, man, I told you. No more of that in 2021, okay? I want to say straight back to you, Iguana. I'm sorry you feel that way. That everyone's a hater when you're actually living in the house of horrors. Yes, the house of stink bug horrors. Anyways, I love you guys. And the guys I'm talking about. The ones that are in my comment section every single time. You guys are awesome. You're making me feel really warm inside because I never ever thought that anyone would watch my videos. And there's people out there in the big world that do. You guys, you know who you are. And to all my new subbies, I love you too. Because you've taken a little bit of time out of the day to listen to a crazy little koala sitting in a tree, stoned AF. So anyway, just tell me anything you want. A couple of you have been saying you want to see videos on this and that. I appreciate that because sometimes I think, what am I going to do it on? And it's usually just what I want to do it on, but really, I'm here for you guys. I'll do stories on whatever, but it's generally got to be around the pop culture issue. Anyway, take it easy. We've just gone into 3 days of lockdown in Brisbane, my little city here in Australia. I know to the rest of you, you're probably laughing, but we've been out of lockdown for 110 days or something. So we're going into 3 days, and you know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen. Watch this clip and have a real giggle. This is an Aussie politician and someone's mashed his words up to a song, Drink More Beer. Woo! I'm gonna do that. Thanks, buddy. I'll see you next time. And cheers, bowlers!
That's not appropriate. If people simply get on the beers. As best we can tell, the pub is shut. That's not appropriate. I can't be any clearer than that. That's what's most important. The pub, that's what's most important. Beers. We had a case last week. As best we can tell, the dinner party started with one case. By the end of the dinner party, almost everybody at the dinner party had a case of beers. If people simply take this seriously, rapidly get on the beers. That's your civic duty. That's what's most important, and that's what must be done. Beers, get on the beers. Beers, get on the beers. Beers, China. Beers, get on the beers. Take this seriously, get on the beers. Rapidly, get on the beers. That's your civic duty. Beers, get on the beers. That's what's most important. Beers, that's what's most important. Beers, that's what's most important. Beers, and that's what must be done. Beers.
I can honestly say I never had a beer in my life, okay?
As best we can tell, the pub is shut. That's not appropriate. I can't be any clearer than that. That's what's most important. The pub, that's what's most important. Beers. We had a case last week. As best we can tell, the dinner party started with one case. By the end of the dinner party, almost everybody at the dinner party had a case of beers. If people simply take this seriously, rapidly get on the beers. That's your civic duty. That's what's most important, and that's what must be done. Beers, get on the beers. Beers, get on the beers. Beers, China. Beers, get on the beers. Take this seriously, get on the beers. Rapidly, get on the beers. That's your civic duty. Beers, get on the beers. That's what's most important. Beers, that's what's most important. Beers, that's what's most important. Beers, and that's what must be done. Beers, get on the beers. Beers, get on the beers. Beers, China. Beers, get on the beers. Take this seriously, get on the beers. Rapidly, get on the beers. That's your civic duty. Beers, get on the beers. That's what's most important. Beers, that's what's most important. Beers, that's what's most important. Beers, and that's what must be done.